while working at Mombasa, I worked in Mombasa for around 5 years. We had quite a lot of reading tents in South Coast, just moving from one school to the other. And I remember by then we had the local governments, they were called local governments, going to Mombasa Municipal and telling them, we want to do a reading tent in Kwale. And the education officer had no idea what it was. There was a lady, I think, called Farida in KNLS, Mombasa, may her soul rest. And we managed to do activities down there. Again, while working in this city, we looked around, what can we do? And we discovered these guys who go to prisons, what do they do with their free times? And we had a program working with the prisons, just trying to ensure they have books. We'll organize for book drives and take the books to the prisons. Then now, while at Trongo, I've been working with a project called African Library Project. They do something similar to this. They try to get books and put them, or rather share them in the schools. And so far we've done around 250 schools, majorly in Migori, Homa Bay, and Bungoma counties. And we are in the same, I'm just saying this so that we appreciate. And the last bit is that through African Library Project, I think I've come to appreciate that for us librarians who are in the academic libraries and maybe the public libraries, ours is a very easy job because we have a framework, we have the resources. Yours is to go to job 8 to 5. But then the school librarianship, that is where it all begin. That's where we should put our focus so that we appreciate where we are. We have around 30,000 or 31,000 primary schools in this country and 10,000 secondary schools. That's around 40,000. The last study, and this is a challenge for the academia here, maybe we need to talk in a different quarter to have another baseline and see where are we in school librarianship in this country. But the last study that was done around 2010, it was estimating that only 2% of our schools have makeshift libraries. For those, what you'll say they have library, only 2%. Now, we are sitting here to represent the 2%. We are among the minority. Our success stories are going to influence a lot of what is likely to happen to the other 98%. So I wanted us to reflect on that. And for the slides I'll give you, I might pull out, especially the middle photo, but I put there with a purpose, because that's a very popular program in our schools, the school program, textbook program, where there are books in the store, and the kids go to pick, they come read, and then they return. Is it familiar to some schools? Before Key came to your schools, was that what we are doing? And the typical, when you hear of the library stores, the first photo, that is the closest organization you'll find in those libraries or bookstores. But then we are seeing initiatives coming up, like the third photo, that is one of the libraries we've done in Rusinga Island through LP, using what they have. We couldn't put up the libraries, but just each and every class to create some small space and have classroom libraries. And then the last one is a key library. It is rare. And for information, I've been to so many libraries in this country. Key libraries are much better than so many university libraries. You need to appreciate that. So, something just to assist us think through this. And I will not take much time on this because since morning, we've been doing talking about marketing, advocacy, promotion. It was just to give us the thinking line. What is one information product or service your library is popular with? Just one. That everybody talks about in your library. Yes. The smart board. Anything else? The computers. The books. Then the second question. Thank you, Festus. Information literacy. That one for the university, now that is the in thing, the trainings. Furniture, key furniture is better than the principal's furniture. Then the second question, how did users get to know or associate your library with that product? Engaging and inspiring them. You know why I've put those questions there? It's because many of us go to those facilities. You find them, people like them, and you assume people will continue liking them. You do nothing about it. Key libraries, the furnitures, after people have discovered, or they are just normal chairs. This smartboard, they only have 4 programs. Do you get worried that there'll come a day people will stop coming for those resources? Do you think about it? You know, now they are still in that stage. Yeah, it is nice, I've never seen this. Now, that is where we need to keep the momentum. The debate, the advocacy, the marketing, the promotion, that's where we come in. Now, what is library or literacy promotion activity? What are some of the things that we need to know? The literacy promotion basically refers to the activities that the librarian, in this case the school librarian, undertakes to create awareness and to generate interest in your products, in your library, in the reading, in the services you offer. You must have a deliberate plan that people must like what we do, to generate interest, to invite people to come to your facility. Now, again, this exercise, when you'll be doing the Purity has indicated that she would want us to tell the story, the elevator story. Just that one thing that we identify you with, that assists you to generate interest, to create awareness in your library. Get to know them. When you meet, now that you have very good places, I can assure you if an MP comes to your library and you're not careful, lunch will be offered in the key library. True or false? Was it meant for lunch? Now, assuming he has come, anyway, we will not chase the MP because the chief guest of the school as in the library. And you have an opportunity to say, what is one thing you'll tell the MP? Is in your library for wrong reasons, but you can still pass the message. Just to remain relevant in your schools, identify, observe the key days of all the subjects or literary activities. Have a calendar. Identify in this year, when is almost there's something for everyone. You talk to biologists, they'll tell you today is biology day. When is it? Today is mathematics day. Today is chemistry day. Today is the International Women's Day. Today is the International Book Day. Identify around 5 of them. And be deliberate. If you are, I don't know if you have printers. Do you have printers in your libraries? Colored printers. But even if you don't have, it is possible. Design a few posters, and from nowhere, you go to the head teacher and say, you know, next week it will be the International Book Day. I'm requesting for permission to promote books. Nobody will refuse. All you need is to do posters and walk to every class and stick. And students wake up one day and say, you mean today is International Book Day? What if you complement with a talk in the evening from one of the authors? I hope, especially those from the boys' schools, took the contact for Mr. John Kriamiti who was here. Because he said he's willing to come and talk to the kids, to motivate them. I hope. So those are the opportunities. And you can have such a day, you're observing International Book Day, you invite an author to talk to the students. And everybody will be happy. The librarian will have added value. Organize literacy campaign. And I've put there reading marathon. I have been, the 3 days I have known many of us, we have people here from the home of champions, the source of champions. What is the other? Huh? All those 3 counties are here. It's true. And all those champions, they talk about marathon. Have you ever thought about doing reading marathon? in your schools? Yeah? That would be a very unique program that everybody will easily identify with. And then the reading tents, the Maktaba awards, they are always, each and every day, there are calls out there for people to organize the reading competition, writing competition. Be on the lookout as a librarian and be the first one to go to the English teacher and say, I think your best students can compete this. I think your students can participate in this. And then identify more literacy partners and collaborate. And that's where I was thanking Lillian, that there are so many partners in this business we are in. Do you know them? Goethe Institute. I'm sorry I did not list it as an example, but now that she's just mentioned. KNLS, UNESCO, Story Moja publishers, they have the Story Moja, I like it because there is a whole initiative to try and promote the writers from within. And at times, you only need to approach a publisher, Jomo Kenyatta Foundation, and say, we have our library and we are requesting you donate a few books for us. And people will gladly do that, but know them first. Identify them. Give them a call. Invite them to your schools. Go beyond books. Actually, I think the right term I should have said, get off behind the desk. The traditional librarian, very comfortable behind the desks. Get off that chair. Go to the users. It is beyond the books now. There are so many activities we can do. Collaborate with the teachers to organize the debates. The hackathons, I want to thank Dr. Joe. He's given us a whole world of possibilities. The IT world. How many schools have computer science in their schools? You are training or you are teaching computer. Get involved. Organize competitions in the library. And at times all you need is to get 1 or 2 people to sponsor for a present. Do you know in campus we talk of comrades? The presents for comrades these days is very affordable. If I do any competition in the library, I only need to buy lunch for a comrade and they'll compete. I can assure you in high school at times it might just be bread. And it makes sweets. But we imagine that you need a very big budget to do some of these things. Motivation talks, movie nights, mentorship, coaching, talent corners. And that's why I've picked that from one of the libraries we are doing. These students, they would want to see their works. And at times, these are compositions from class 1, 2, 3. You pick just to motivate them to write. The good composition, there's a wall in your library, and you display there. After a week, you put another. And students, they want to come to the library and see the composition we wrote in class. Because now you talk to the teachers, give me the best to display. The composition we wrote in class, did it give me a space in the pupils' corner? And the likes. Look out for opportunities for your users. For example, writing, science competition, and the likes. And then you share with them. Now, this is the part I said I just added because I think librarians, we are not doing enough. You need to know why we exist as school librarians. We've not come to replace anybody's job. We are not in any competition, but we exist for one purpose. Once you know where you belong, you'll never have an issue. You exist to teach, to support the teaching, the learning, and the growth of the learners. Sini kweli? But at times we behave like we exist for other reasons. We are fighting with the teachers. Yours is to support the teacher. And your class, sorry? The teachers are the ones fighting with the librarians. So, if we exist to support the teaching, how is the teaching? And by the teaching has changed. We are moving, in my introductory slide, we are in the transition to CBC. Where are we in the CBC? Are we there? Are we supporting the changed landscape? We are now seeing a lot of collaborative learning. Kids want to read in groups, discussion, but your library still has the shh, you know that sign, eh? You think they'll come? They'll come pick books and go back to class, where they can afford to say something. So what does that tell the librarian? You need to think about the space. And I'm glad God the Institute has done that. At times, it's not building a new space. It has the space in front of your door. You just need a bench. It's just the tree in front of your door where it is written, don't step on the grass. So you go and tell the head teacher, would want to do some benches there where students can read, but because of this, don't step on the grass. Is it possible you do a bit of pavement? Is that too much to ask? And you put 2 or 3 benches, and it becomes your extended space for free or collaborative type of learning. Learners' personal development, get involved in it. The coaching and mentorship, and I want to thank Ronald. He gave a very good example for us. Get involved in the pupils' learning process. Then number 2, don't work alone. Don't work alone. Collaborate and partner. I know the schools, the experiences here, if you talk to them, they will tell you. There are 3 forces in school on issue of literacy. Number 1 is the deputy head teacher. According to the ministry, those are the ones in charge of academics, civil, discipline, at the primary school. Those in primary school, the deputy head teachers, they're in charge of the government textbook programs. And you go to that, some school, those books came 5 years ago, and they are very new. It has never been used even a single day, because the instruction with the deputy head teacher is that you lose, you pay. Then there are these other books you find through other initiatives, Key and the likes. You'll find those books maybe with the teacher librarian, language teachers, and the likes. Then there's the head teacher. I won't be surprised after this training, some of us will go back to the school and we'll have a problem. How comes it is the librarian who went and not the deputy head teacher? Learn to collaborate. Share with them. Go and brief them. Show them the good things you've learned, the possibilities. Involve them in doing these things. So check out for the academic board committee. There's a board in the in the BOM. There's academic board. The schools have, you call them the council, library council. Purity call them library ambassadors. Student prefects or library prefects. Involve them in whatever capacity. Work with the deputy head teacher and the language. Have a way. How many of us have library committees? That we are working and there's a library committee you work with. Munakaa mkutano, munakanyagana kidogo, then munaelewana. You see, go and talk, go and introduce library committees. It will sort the conflicts that you have every day. Now, the third one, love what you do. There are librarians who behave like they are looking for a better job. And you are at 40 or 59. Just love the librarianship. Or you are 58 and you are still behaving like there's a better job somewhere. Serve with a smile. You've seen the service we've received from this hotel. Is it good? Yes. You agree it is good? Library is a customer industry, customer service industry. You'd want to be served with a smile. You'd want to see somebody coming back to ensure you're okay, to confirm, did you like it? Did you find the book useful? Can I give you another one? But when you are serving like at 4:59, the library is already closed. Anybody coming? Actually, many librarians 4:30. We are not giving books, come tomorrow. However good that library is. And they have those counter closed. The librarian is there, but the counter is closed. Be available and go an extra mile. I work at the university setup, and we have a whole debate. At times, it ends up nasty, but there's a whole debate on the quality of research. And you have to go an extra mile and work with the researchers. A PhD student wants to graduate, and you are telling you will not graduate this year because of this. But you have to go an extra mile and say, it's because of this reason. Let me move a bit faster. Let people know what you do. And that's what I was saying, Purity was talking about branding. I have so many of these I used to do this type of shirts, and I have quite a number of them. And by the way, don't talk about money. Is there anybody who finishes a year without buying a cloth? She talked of innovative ways. Me, I don't get any money to print them. But when my staff used to say that they cannot do round neck T-shirts, I just did them and sold to them myself. This one was 400 shillings. And that's why I put it there. And you only need somebody to do who does the T-shirts and say, can you do something for me nice about the library? And I have so many of them, but every Friday, my staff have a staff population of around, not around there, 21. All of them must be in branded T-shirt, not bought by the university, bought by their own money, because you chose to be a librarian. Read and read and read. And that's why I added this tag. This was a clarion call when we did the library week in 2021. Read more, be more, do more as a librarian. You can never serve the food that you've not tested. Go to your social media. How many of us are on Facebook? I want to give you an assignment this evening. I want you to go to your social media this evening. Go to the likes. You know, there's a page, all the things you've liked. Go there. The things you've liked. Then you count how many of them are associated with the library or your profession. Check which ones are the leading. Those are the things you like. So you'll be able to know if you like your course or not. Because there's so much you learn just by liking. You go to Facebook and something pops up. You go to Twitter and something pops up. The things that pop up are the things you've liked. So if you liked politics, you'll only see different political statements. Then the last bit, as I finish, evolve and be innovative. We are talking about CBC. Have you thought about CBC corners in your library? CBCs are about doing, for those in primary school, Ronald and the likes, kids are doing so many things. Can you do for them somewhere where they can display their work? Can you be the vocal point for CBC in your school? Then the new products and services. I kept listening to Dr. Joe and I'm like, people are learning on a different sphere. You know that type of discussion, I cannot talk in the African Library Project because we just give books. But for you, you have ICT infrastructure. Have you taken note of those things that you are going to have them introduce in your schools so that students can have a bit of digital literacy? And then celebrate the international days together. Watch out what is happening. Invite people in your schools to come and celebrate with you. And the last bit, again, maybe on a flip chart, if we can get a flip chart and a pen, just for people to write which other partners you are working with in your school. There are so many people around doing good things. But if we had a way that by the time you are finishing, you have 5 people you are going to contact and say, I heard you do this. We are inviting you to our school. That would be a very good beginning point, to have more people come to work with you, to support the library projects and the likes. Now, as I finish, just to encourage you, because we can talk of so many things, and by evening you'll have so many things you want to do. By next week, tomorrow you'll not work. When you go to office on Monday, you'll find so many problems, missing books, and you'll forget almost everything. But keep your notes, so that you try out some of these things. You might not succeed, but you'll pick the lesson. So feel encouraged as librarians. The work you are doing is the right thing, and I wish each and every one of you the best. Thank you.